Go Brian.
Another beautiful evening here. Thanks, Betsy, and Scott and Eve and everybody for being here. I have to preface it. I saw that the topic was purpose and social entrepreneurship, and so it was very aligned with I think the life that a lot of us are living, right? And it spoke to me, and I've been enjoying having the opportunity to share the beautiful work that we've all been doing, our team has been doing. And so I'm excited to talk to you about it a little bit tonight. So I live in one of those unicorns, 1917 beach home a few blocks from the beach, all wood ceilings and floors. And we have this beautiful front yard. We've turned it into a sanctuary of sorts. And I have these two little wooden signs in the yard. The first one's just a reminder for myself as I watch the kids run around the yard and watch them in just their perfect bliss of being a 2-year-old, just connected to source and energy and no fear, worry, or doubt, or any negativity in their world, right? And so when I'm worrying about my business and all the work I have to do, this sits there in the corner and I see it and it reminds me to be a little bit more present with them. And then the second one that hangs there is by the gate for people to see as they come and go. And it's kind of become the motto of our school to a degree. And for people that can't read it in the back, it says the most important thing to know is yourself. And I've been working with the team for a few years now to create a charter school, the first charter school in Encinitas for grades 7 through 12, and it's based on a holistic education. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But the most important thing to know is yourself. Resonates on so many levels for myself in the school, but I feel it really connects you back to your passion and your purpose. And that was the topic tonight, and it was so aligned with what we're doing with our work with the school. When you do know who you are connected to your passion and purpose, and you feel that fire and that life and that excitement, and you can be in that flow state of it happening in perfectedness without the battles that we go through when we are not connected to our passion and purpose, or doing work not aligned with our being. It's not as pleasant or easy, right? There's a lot of obstacles, and it can be challenging and difficult. And so our focus for the school is to connect students to their passion and purpose. And so for myself, I was teaching for 2 years in a traditional public school, and it was not aligned with how I knew I needed to be teaching and what I knew our education system needed to be teaching. It was a constant battle. They made me cut off my dreads. I had to trade in my bracelets for a wristwatch. And they told me that the clock in the back of the room could no longer say the eternal moment of now. And that was just like some of the superficial elements. That wasn't talking about like the project-based experiential learning and teaching to the whole being and teaching them to know who they are, that I was so passionate about teaching. And so it just didn't work. After 2 years of that, I couldn't be in that world anymore. And so I had to leave it and walk away. And became a businessman, making far more money than I'd ever made in education. But it was not aligned with my being, with my purpose. And when you're living that life that's not aligned with your purpose, it becomes so difficult. You are getting into fights and arguments and bad breakups and getting drunk and hurting yourself and getting arrested. And I went through all of those things for a few years until I was able to connect to myself, finally move out of the situation I was in, moved to Costa Rica in New Orleans, and had the opportunity to start finding myself and had the opportunity to start working on the creation of some charter schools. And so that really started to light that passion for me. And I traveled across country 4 times, truly finding myself and truly connected to my life passion and purpose. And so now today, about 10, 12 years later, through that process, I realized that I was passionate about raising the consciousness of humanity, raising our vibration. as I believe we all in this room are to some level. What I found is that when people do find out who they are, and when they do connect to their passion and purpose, it always comes back to the social entrepreneurship, to doing something for the higher good. I have yet to meet somebody that says, I'm so aligned with this job in insurance claims. This is definitely what I'm supposed to be doing. This is perfect for my being. It doesn't happen. And I think that we all go back to that same source, right? We all do come from the same thing. And so when we are connected to that, I think it does lead us to that social entrepreneurship, that desire to do things for the greater good. And so in my process, we found that one of the greatest ways to do this is education. And our education system is so outdated and so flawed, and we are not teaching to the whole being. And so a handful of years ago, I had the privilege of a mutual friend introducing me to Marissa Brunillo and Wendy Cavany, and they were working together on this school, and I had been working on this school, and when we met, it was the most beautiful synchronicity of life and existence, and everything was perfect. And we had the same exact school created in two different parts of the country, and it came together in perfection. And so for the past few years, we finalized our legal document, this 187-page charter petition it's called. We submitted it to the San Miguel Union School District. It went over with rave reviews, and we have our board hearing this coming Thursday, and we would love the community to be there and support. We have a great community around the school so far. And this is what I would really like to speak to you tonight now, is well, let me take a quick step back and give you a little brief overview of the school, like a 30-second version. We're teaching to the whole being. It's a holistic-based education, teaching equally to the mental, social, emotional, personal, and physical parts of the being, with the goal of connecting students to their life passion and purpose, with the school's job then being providing the students with the tools and skills that they need to create a life based on their passion and purpose. And so we're opening that, and that's needed a year from now.
Yes!
This is not the perfect place for that school to be launched, right? And so the beauty of it is now we're becoming, it was years of that really tough, mental, tedious, academic, legal work, and now we're getting to this really fun part where we get to build a community, and it takes a village to create a school. It can no longer be a team of 5 of us. It needs to be the Encinitas conscious community that creates the school. And so what we're finding is that there is a role for everybody in this thing. And so in the room, we have all these people that are nodding, and I get to see their smiling faces, and we've been talking to them and meeting with them over the past few months. And we're starting to find positions from how everybody kind of fits their life passion and purpose into this school that's going to be here. And so one big part of it is this conscious community that we used to refer to as a community center, after school hours on the weekends. And as we met with One Planet for Change and Circles Yoga and CBI Magazine and Surfing Transformation and all these amazing people running these incredible projects out of our community, we realized that if we unite our passions and our purpose, our projects, we can create a new entity that's more powerful than the sum of our individual projects. And we see this as an opportunity for us to all come together and to all share our talents and our loves and our passions and make something incredible for this world. And so that's what I would like to offer everybody here is, I'm going to flip that. People always ask us, how can I help? How can I get involved in the school? And the question is flipped to you. How would you like to? What is your passion? How would you like to contribute to the school? How would you like to help this thing become its most perfected version of itself? And it's going to be, and it is becoming that, and we're all contributing to it in different ways. And it's going to take our entire village. And so we hope that we can work with many of you through this process, and we're excited as the community is excited. Our board hearing is next Thursday, and so we would love to pack the room. The first time the review that we got was so great because you read some of our stuff and it could be perceived as maybe a little hippy-dippy out there floating in space, and so they weren't really sure what they were going to get, and they were really impressed with the people that were in the room. Am I done? 5 minutes? Oh, really? I went way faster than anticipated. So that's at 6:30. We actually have these little handy-dandy cards that we put together that have the address, the date, the time, and we printed out like 50 of these today for people. Yeah, Wendy and Marissa in the back have a ton of them. And so the other little piece of this is every Thursday we meet out here at this round table, and we've been making a weekly meeting out of this to just kind of collaborate, and some people come in. Tonight we had 2 women. Willow here is handing out the cards, came in like almost virtually in tears, like, I've been looking for this. And it was the most beautiful like conversation and dialogue, and the people just keep, it's been the most beautiful process. And so if anybody in this room is inspired to be a part of it in any form, we would love to have you. And so that is all I have. Thank you for being here.